Hello beautiful people, this video is about why strategy execution unravels and what to do about it. In this episode we're going to go deeper into the real reasons why strategy execution falls apart and show you exactly what to do to turn those breakdowns into breakthroughs. The cost of execution failure is absolutely staggering, not just financially but in terms of morale, retention, trust building, reputation and delivery for our customers. I'm going to show you exactly how to identify and resolve those breakdowns hiding in plain sight inside the invisible execution layer. If you're not familiar with the execution layer, I've done another video here which is on what is executional intelligence. That'll give you a deep dive into this topic. I'm doing 20 videos on this topic and that's a good one to start with if you're not familiar with the topic. Execution unravels when you can't see what's breaking. Most leaders respond to delays, rework, and frustration or lack of trust or lack of powerful, effective conversations within their teams with more meetings, more dashboards, and more pressure and more exhorting people to deliver. And particularly because they're probably feeling that themselves from their higher level customers within the organization. I believe that the true cause of failure execution typically lies in the invisible coordination structures, what I refer to as the execution layer within organizations. It's how work actually flows between people regardless of where they are in the org chart or what the project plan says. It's almost like when we first started working, any of you have been around a while, when we first started working in technology, we would have SneakerNet, which was people basically carrying around floppy disks from one computer to another in order to be able to do data sharing. That was invisible to us, and we knew that it was causing a lot of damage to the system and a lot of security breaches, which would be horrendous these days. But if you think about the invisible coordination that happens, that is all the people making promises and commitments to each other to try and help each other out on projects, or not making promises and commitments to each other that need to be made in order for the project to be delivered successfully, or making promises and commitments to each other that are broken that result in miscommunication, rework, miscoordination, breakdowns in trust. So the invisible execution layer is something that I have been working in for 30 plus years, and I want to introduce you to it and help you see how it's a super powerful lever for enabling strategy execution, for enabling project execution, and something that really allows you to be able to build intelligence and innovation capacity and trust and more work enjoyment across your org. There are 4 super common invisible breakdowns that happen in projects. And this is from me looking back over it over 20, 30 years, and also having done many of these projects where I've helped people see the invisible execution layer and build executional intelligence into their organization, transforming their projects, transforming their metrics, transforming their success rates. I've been doing it manually with small teams working with bigger teams over a long period of time. AI is now in a place where I'm leveraging AI to help me really be able to do this much more effectively. We'll talk about that in another video, but this is a really exciting moment for those of us who are working in this space. So the 4 most common and invisible breakdowns are delayed handoffs. So many times we have vague ownership and unclear customer performer roles internally within the organization. We don't know who we're really delivering for. People don't really understand who's requesting what from whom. They don't understand the dependencies that they are part of a network of. And so we get lots of delayed handoffs happening in projects, mostly because people tend to prioritize things when they know who they're delivering for. If I am just delivering for my inbox, I will manage my inbox according to my own schedule. If I'm delivering for you, or if I'm delivering for someone else on my project, I will prioritize delivering for you. And if I don't know what I'm delivering exactly or can't make sense of it, I don't have the context right, I don't know what it is that I'm really supposed to be doing, I can ask you. If I'm simply delivering against my inbox, it's my inbox, and I will do my best to deliver as I can. So delayed handoffs, one of the fixes for those is co-designed conditions of satisfaction, where we are creating intentional, mindful conversations with people, where they're having those on a constant basis, not physically having them every single time, but able to recognize where they are in the flow of a conversation. I talk about the conversational loop or the coordination loop in multiple other videos, and it'll give you an idea of this sort of atomic structure of the execution layer. We're also doing a lot of rework, excessive rework on many projects. And part of the cause for that is there's no real definition of done, or we do a definition of done, we document it into a piece of paper, we have lots of definition of dones assigned with different tasks, but there's nobody to talk to about what the definition of done actually means. I don't have an embodied living understanding of it on a daily basis. The context of the project is shifting. My definition of dones, once I've actually documented those in a spreadsheet or in a form or somewhere, they're obsolete 2 days later because the context of the project has shifted. Multiple things in the projects are changing over time. The complexity and speed at which we're operating is unprecedented, and it's about to get a lot faster because AI is going to speed up a lot of this. Now, do we want to speed up the breakages and make our lives absolutely impossible? Or do we want to go back and actually clean up our execution layer so that when we leverage AI in that context and it speeds things up around us, we're actually speeding up something that is effective and working and well designed? Or are we speeding up something that is broken and just trying to push harder into those breakages? Overwhelm and burnout is one of the other common breakdowns. So many teams are operating in overwhelm and in burnout. They're doing demo death marches. They're on the edge of even being able to function. They're not able to pick their kids up from school. They're dealing with all of the issues associated with serious overwork. Part of why that happens is because there are too many implicit commitments. And by that I mean, if I offer to do something in a team and I anticipate I'm going to have resources for 10 more people to help me deliver on it, and I make that commitment, that means I have hundreds of implied commitments behind me in terms of what I'm expecting those 10 people to do. Projects moving really fast, resources are getting snapped up really quickly, other people are making commitments to other people that I don't know and don't have visibility into and don't understand. I go to my 10 people who I'm planning on having delivering a part of the project with me. 5 of them are working for another team, 2 of them are on vacation or maternity leave or paternity leave, and I'm now left with 3 people who may or may not be able to deliver for me on a full-time basis. So our resources are moving around so quickly that we have a lot of overwhelm and burnout that we could manage through an understanding of the commitments that we're making and visibility into those. AI is going to help us significantly with this because it's able to do a level of speed and processing and comprehension and prediction that we have never had a tool of the like to be able to do this before. We're working on technology to support the kind of projects that want to leverage the execution layer and want to be able to make this visible to themselves so that they can orchestrate things more effectively and deliver more value and satisfaction for their customers. The one that's most foundational is the trust erosion. So as projects progress and continual breakdowns happen, overwhelm and burnout happens, excessive rework happens, delayed handoff happens, we're slowly eroding trust. And as human beings, it's a foundational element from which we all work. So we're eroding trust in each other, we're eroding trust in the project team, in the project leads, and the organization as a whole, and in ourselves because we're losing faith in our own ability to be able to deliver. So some of the reasons why these things happen on a consistent basis is because we don't have visibility into the execution layer and our people don't have executional intelligence. As you start thinking about designing your execution layer, before it's too late and your project unravels. Execution unraveling doesn't always look dramatic. When you think about the quiet systemic things that are just eroding the potential success of your project, things that are falling through the cracks, quiet frustration between departments or between silos in your org that are just growing slowly over time, almost sort of like a compound interest of distrust. Late stage surprises and fire drills, so things that people forgot, things that we didn't attend to in the beginning and were left off the project plan altogether, things that have fallen through the cracks. And emotional exhaustion, which is now masked as normal because we're all in this together, we're all exhausted together, we're all burnt out together. As you start seeing these indicators of lack of understanding and lack of design of your execution layer, I encourage you to start thinking about the execution layer as that invisible layer that you as a project lead, or you as someone who's a significant member of a project team who's part of executing a powerful strategy or delivering on an important project, really recommend that you start looking at the execution layer and make it visible for yourself. As you go about doing that, and as you start doing that, I have a gift for you, which is a free white paper. It's a white paper called Execution by Design. It's for people who are committed to building their own executional intelligence, building an understanding of the execution layer, and designing the execution layer for their projects. It's available on my website, www.jenniferkenny.com/execution. Read it, download it, it's free, share it, help others see the execution layer. And as you start applying this into your projects, let me know how it goes for you. Drop me a note in the comments. I'm doing 20 videos on this series to help you all understand this. And I wish you the very best of luck with it. It will make your life easier and more joyful. Take care and good luck.